Hello students, hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to discuss BA second year paper Study of Fiction, which is done recently in DAVV University. And here I am going to discuss some strategies to solve paper and one two questions uncommon questions we are going to discuss and how to solve question paper. This is I am going to speak on this slideshow. So let us see first is that's a question paper, right? As I told you that this question paper, this is the question paper of DAVV University, which was held on recently on 11th 11th June, right? So this is the paper instruction and then in DAVV mm, pattern, according to DAVV University pattern, question paper is of 70 marks, right, for general students, and which is divided into three sections: section A, section B and section C. So section A is objective type question, right, and then section B is that's a short answer, and section C is that's a long answer. Here you can say long answer, right? Now section A is one question for 1 mark, 6 question, and one question is of 1 mark. For short answer, one question will be of 8 marks, and in B section you have to solve 5 questions, right? And then moving to next C section, in which you just need to do 2 questions, but each question will be of 12 marks. बहुत too much, 12 marks are too much, right? So what you need to do, you just have to uh, save your time for third question, which is very important, right? And this is important tip for you, that what I am speaking, listen carefully, that third question will be of maximum marks, that is 12 marks, and that is why you have to save at least 1 hour for C section, right? So within 1.5 hours you just have to complete your A and B section. So this is first step, listen carefully, that first step is that save your time for longer question, for mm, questions uh, which are which will be of 10 plus marks, right? Means you have to write too much. So that is why please take care and then save time. Very important tip. First step is that time should be saved, right? Don't get tempted to write much, don't spend much time for B section, right? Now that's the first tip. Second tip is that read first section and don't go for second and third section, don't read whole paper. Why? Reason I'm telling you. In class what happened, that in class is very slow. Class means each and every topic for, excuse me please, for 4 5 days we just discuss each one topic, one novel we can say, right? And then discussion, attendance and other talks also. So that is just discussion or teaching. But when whole syllabus in front of you, and then you just need to give a response, and that is within 3 hours you have to talk about whole paper, right? That's a big challenge for everyone, for you, not for you, for me as well. Since long time I have been teaching, but still when I have to give paper, that definitely plot, character, messages, themes will be mixed, right? So that is why it's a great challenge. So what you need to do, that for 3 hours and too much writing and too much different type of questions are there, and definitely you will get confused and you will be under pressure, everyone, right? And that is why to avoid to mount pressure, right? Avoid such type of pressure, we should avoid, don't read whole question paper, because that's a very like crucial time and you are under pressure, and when you read whole question and then things are being definitely will start mingling, right? So that is why it is better to avoid reading whole question. Read 8 part. In fact, don't go for B part. Read A part, section A, and one by one you just go for optional all 6 questions. Say for example here, first question is the Crusoe named his servant Friday in honor of what, right? Answer, you just have to Good Friday and other answer. I have read this paper, but right now I'm not able to read it properly, but answer is B, right? You just see that's the day on which the native life was saved. This is the answer. Number 2, the Bennett family lives in the village of, this is also B, Longburn, right? Then come to the C, what is the name of the sailor, right, who buys Susan, right? Again answer B, his full name is, sailor's full name is Robert Newson, right? Then next question, who proposes marriage to Clarissa? That is D answer, Peter Walsh, right? Peter Walsh. And then fifth question, what brings Hyde into being? That is answer is A, a potion, what is right, a potion, that is the, right now I'm not able to read, but the a potion something, that's the answer. Fifth answer is A. Then Charles Dickens belongs to the age Victorian, age B. Answer is B. And one more suggestion, when you do uh, these kind of question objective type question, don't avoid writing 1A 2B. Don't write this way. What you need to do, you should write a statement, whole statement. For example, who dash dash dash, for example I'm just giving fourth wala example, who dash dash dash, and last word is refused, and then answer is, then answer should be Peter Walsh. So that's a D, Peter Walsh. In this way you should give answer of objective type question. If you write 1B 2C, they will not your answer, not your response, they will not check. Reason is that no one is there to read again and again statement and find out answer. No one takes such pain, right? It is better you should write it properly. So this is the second tip is that a statement of MCQ should be written dash 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 way, and then answer should be written fully. And don't read B section first, do A section, read it carefully. There is no negative marking, that is why you just have to write the answer. And then for objective type answer, suppose you don't have any idea, so that solution is that you just try to first you read 4 options, and those which are not at all possible, cut means mind on paper you cannot even make a dot, that is offense, right? But yes, in your mind you can say that no, B is not answer, C is not answer, then A and B, what will be the answer? Then you just try to think and then read question again, and then finally whatever you think that it might be right or wrong answer, and you just give the answer. The reason is that if you don't do this way, then you cannot score much in the answer like 1B 2C, right? Very what we can say that tough to them to check your question, that what's the statement and what's the answer. They are not going to take such pain. So just write statement and answer properly. Moving to next, then go to section B, and section B read just one question and then choice. So what best you can do, again, don't tick anything on question marks. You just set your mind, and in answer copy you can write what question you are going to do. Suppose here I am telling you that first question is, what are the characteristics of literary and genre fiction? I have made video here only, literary and genre fiction. I am just going to tell you, but in broadly, if I give you answer that literary means art movies, I'm just giving you example. Literary means art movies and other movies which are commonly made for hmm, what Dil Wale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge or something. These types of movies are the example of genre, right? Literary fiction, and genre is, that's a common, very common. For example, I told you, right? Then write a short note on fiction and its type. I have already made video on the slideshow, and you can visit to my news channel, that's a English with Dr. Swati Singh, in which you can see the answer of fiction and its type. That then come to so this way, any two of one of the question from these both, you just have to select and start writing. Don't read next question. Why? Again I'm telling you, you are under pressure, and then you will become very much confused that what's the answer, this answer or that answer. So many question haunting will be there. It is better just go for next question, section B, and first question, read two questions, means choice, and immediately decide and then start writing. And suppose you forgot in between, but then leave and anyhow try to sum up, but don't start new because you don't have much time, right? Similarly, go to question number 2. Evaluate Robinson Crusoe as an adventure novel. Yes, that's an adventure novel, because right from beginning he was ready to leave, and then the whole that's a traveling was very adventurous, and then it met with accident, and then he brings so much useful things from make one small boat, kind of boat, and then he goes alone from that's a damaged ship, and he brings useful things, and then 27 years he lives alone in an island, and he tries to save people from savages, and then cannibals, and then he learn reading, and he reads Bible, and he maintain what yearly activities, and he helps so many people, and then very happy ending is that very happily he comes back to his hometown. So this whole life of Robinson Crusoe is adventurous. And then again, next third tip is very important, that whenever you do literature, then take care that each and every question where you have to tell the story, short story, and that is why I'm making number of videos. So listen all the videos, and then you just remember the story, because whatever the question, but a story is the part of that question. So start with summary, story summary, so that here you just have to tell the summary of Robinson Crusoe, and then you have to tell how Robinson Crusoe is adventurous. So you just give number of reasons that why it is adventurous, because this is adventure novel, because these his personal life, his professional life, he is caring, and he 27 years he lived alone, but he comes with very happy and gay mood. He comes to his comes back to his family, and then how he faced the life, but he didn't surrender, and this way you have to tell, right? Okay, now B option is that bring out the chief characteristic traits of Pamela, Similarly, Pamela, 18 years, young girl, but then she does not surrenders whatever the situation, and she is being allured by his boss, and who is a millionaire billionaire, but then she does not give up, she does not surrender in front of this man. And whole novel she maintains her chastity. And then when she becomes wife of Mr. B, then also she proves her great heart, and then she accepts that a legal child of Mr. B, and then she is blessed to have number of children, and she is a good housewife, and she wins heart of local people of the city. And this way, Pamela, this is the character of Pamela. So then in both the novel you can decide and go for it. Now, and suppose if upper side one question, if you have done any question, and then don't try to repeat, right? Now number 3, discuss the significance of the title, A Tale of Two Cities. Here first of all you have to tell the summary. Again and again I am telling you that tell about author, then about summary, and then a tale and two cities. So what's the tale between two cities? So here you have to tell you Lucy Manet, right? And then her husband, her beloved, and then how they get Evermont family. He comes from London. Hero comes from London, comes from France, and heroine comes from London. And how do they meet? And then they have what we can say attraction between them, and then finally they have got married, and they are uh, also blessed to have a young baby, right? But at last happy ending, it's a happy ending note. And then tale, one tale and two cities. So what's the tale is French Revolution. This way you have to give the whole argument, and then you have to describe this way. Then option is, in the novel of Hardy, chance play an important role. Illustrate this from the mayor of Casterbridge. Yes, he becomes mayor of Casterbridge, but see chance that first he sells his wife because of alcohol, and he realizes, he takes vow for 20 years not to touch liquor. But then by chance his wife comes back, because as he sails, but then after some time wife comes back, because wife supposes that uh, her husband has already died. And then she comes back to her husband, old like previous husband, that's a mayor of, that becomes mayor of Casterbridge, that hero of the novel. And then how by chance he gets he meets his daughter Elizabeth, but then he is not stable mind, he is very impulsive, and that's why he does lot of mistakes, and finally his life is pathetic, and he has to go, he has to live long alone, he has to live alone. This is another thing, right? Now, so this is something. And then write character analysis of Clarissa Dalloway, Mrs. Dalloway. Mrs. Dalloway is Clarissa Dalloway, and how does she like flowers, fragrance, and then how she manages her life. She is 50 years old, so 50 years plus old lady, and but then Clarissa loves her husband, but at the same time sometime she gets confused, and one day she meets her boyfriend, and then they are grown up now, they are older in fact. And then for some time, few minutes, she starts thinking for this boy, then but immediately she feels her responsibility. And this way what's going on Clarissa's mind, this we have to tell in this novel, right? That is stream of consciousness, that's a consciousness, because she becomes nostalgic. And then the like small river every time old thoughts touches to Clarissa. This is the story. Now next one is discuss the major themes of the novel. 1984 very important, and you should do it. 1984 is still very much relevant. You can start with the Big Brother is watching you. However, no one has seen the Big Brother, and different kinds of parties, and then political parties they made, and then how like politics has happened, and then how our privacy is snatched by government, and finally 1 and 1 is 2 or 2 plus 2 is 4, but finally the hero of the novel has to tell that 2 plus 2 is 5. Why? Because Big Brother is saying, and this is means no privacy, no happiness in life, and we are this tool of puppet of such government, and then no personal life is there, and he also is happy at the end. Hero is also happy with the government. Very beautiful novel. Now next novel is analyze character of Victor Frankenstein. Frankenstein misuses his art or his knowledge, and how he creates monster, and then how that monster is problematic to Victor himself. This way you have to tell about the character of Victor Frankenstein. He's a nobleman, he's a gentleman, but at the same time he misuses his knowledge, and he thinks that he can produce a soul or produce a human body, and then becomes giant body, and that is the cause that becomes cause of his death. This way you have to characterize. Lastly, critically uh, appreciate Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Both are one and the same team, but Dr. Jekyll many times hides himself because of, again, same misusing of his knowledge. So this way you have to tell, and then discuss the nature of virtue and reward of Pamela. Here you can go for epistolary novel, means the plot which is developed through letters. So this is the epistolary novel, and here they are asking about virtue and reward, like how if you are strict, and if you are virtuous, then so it will, you will be given lot of reward, means it will pay something, right? So virtues are paid off, we can say, right? So that's a thread. And then go for evaluate Sons and Lovers at the first psychoanalytical novel. First second don't go with, but yes, that's a psychoanalytical novel, means that's a psychology is there. We have to understand the psychology of mother and psychology of sons, and then analysis, we have to analyze the situation, why, where mother was very much possessive over her children, and how children children have done mistake, which kind of mistake you have to discuss here. So tomorrow I'm going to make one more video. Right now actually I'm a little bit busy, and then discuss the appropriateness of the Pride and Prejudice. So hero is, that's a prejudice and pride between Elizabeth, and that's a hero. Right now I'm not getting, but that's a hero. And all video I have made already, so you just can see the in my news channel, you can see. Right now, to what extent is character, and what extent is fate responsible for the uh, tragedy, the Mayor of Casterbridge. Here you have to tell the importance of that's a importance of fate, right? And then how it becomes tragedy. So a phase against versus tragedy we have to discuss. Then discuss major thematic concern. I have written here, but now I have to pack up because I have to go somewhere. So I'm going to make next video on it, right? So thank you so much. God bless you.